Hi, I'm Brenda from the Avant Garden Shop, and welcome to another episode of The Garden Gate. It's May, and there's so much going on in the garden. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you can do to prepare your garden for the birds and maybe for the flowers as well. So hummingbirds, they should almost be back. It's sort of middle of May now, and they usually come up at this time of year. There's a great website, hummingbirds.net, if you wanted to actually check to see the progression of where the hummingbirds are. I'm going to show you a couple of different feeders. This is my favorite feeder. It's made in the US, doesn't yellow, it doesn't crack, it's easy to open, so it's easy to clean. It doesn't leak because the liquid is all basically in the bottom. It's not one of those feeders that have the little tubes that come out the bottom and leak terribly, and that just attracts ants, which is annoying. This has an ant moat, which is this little cup right here. You fill this part with water, and when the ants come along, they can't get into the feeder because they can't swim. And then you can also add bee guards, these little guys here. These are little bee guards. They fit on the back of the flower, and the bees can't get through it, but the hummingbird can push his beak through it. Because it's very important that the hummingbirds have nice clean liquid to drink from. Ant moats are also sold separately. That's what this is here, and it can just be hung above a feeder that doesn't have one of the built-in ant moats. And again, you just fill it with water, and it keeps the ants out, which is really neat. Orioles also come around the same time as the hummingbirds, and we have lots of wonderful feeders for the orioles, including this one here, which actually takes jelly, which is kind of neat. They love the grape jelly. When I come back, we'll talk in the second segment a little bit more about hummingbird feeders and also about window alerts, which will stop the birds from actually flying into your windows. So join me in just a little bit. Welcome back to the Garden Gate. I'm Brenda from the Avant Garden Shop. We're talking about hummingbirds and orioles. This is another style of oriole feeder which has a bee guard, holds lots of liquid, has great big perches, which are good for the orioles, that you can actually make smaller, so for storage in the winter, that's a nice feature. It breaks apart as well, so it's really easy for cleaning, as do these feeders. The bottom just breaks off, the top bottle just comes off as well, holds lots of liquid, which is nice as well. And then another thing to think about at this time of year are bird strikes into your window. We have lots of these window alerts, they're called, and they're ultraviolet, which birds can see. It's kind of like a stoplight to them, and the birds will see the ultraviolet, but for you it's just an opaque image that you actually can stick on your window. It needs to go on the outside of your window, but it really does work to stop the birds from striking your window and meeting their demise. So we have lots of those in stock. I hope you'll come in and have a look at the Avant Garden Shop and see all of the wonderful things and think about what you can do in your garden this year. We'll see you next time.
The Garden Gate is brought to you by the Avant Garden Shop, your destination for gardening accessories and backyard birding supplies.